What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, I was listening to Boomstick Afternoon Delight. I don't know. He's got so many shows. I don't remember. But it was Boom. It was Hargeet and some other people. I don't remember. But they were talking about the HiFi rush and how the rumor was that it was going to go multiplat, mainly to, the rumor was it was going to the Switch, and I talked about that last video and how I felt about it. But they were very mad, and I'm like, okay, first, why are you mad? Second, they were saying, why can't we have anything good? Why can't we have exclusives, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, remember when I said the last video, 10 years ago, Microsoft started on this path. They started making moves. They started strategically doing things different than the competition. Meanwhile, Sony kept doing the same old, same old. Look at who's where now today. 10 years later, Microsoft's better off than they were 10 years ago. 10 years later, Sony's worse off than they were 10 years ago. Why would you try to emulate what Sony's doing? Why would you try to say, oh, let's keep all our exclusives off of them and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't. Obviously, Microsoft is doing the right things because everything that they have tried, for the most part, percentage-wise, has worked, has made them more money, has made them more successful. Whether or not you want to fall into the crazy rabbit hole of, oh, they don't have as many console sales, so they're losing, that doesn't make any sense. Please stop using that argument because it's dumb. Okay, and if you're using that argument, you're an idiot. Just say straight up. At this point, I'm like, look, I'm not gonna pull any punches. If you're a dumbass, you're a dumbass. That's it. And there's nothing else to say about that. But the metrics are different because, bottom line is like, how much money did this company make? How much money did this company make in the same industry? And if Microsoft is making more with less, then Sony's dumb. Anyway, that's a whole thing that we said. But anyway, our Hargeet was so offended, so was Boom. But Hargeet went in and said, he was like crying and, oh man, this is the worst thing to ever happen. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what he said. But he was so adamant about how disappointed and how bad this is. And I'm like, y'all are all stupid. Y'all are dumb. How come y'all are dumb right now in this instance of business? We're talking about business decisions here. We're not talking about fanboyism and all this stuff. That's what had happened, right? Hargeet and Boom, they got up in their feelings, and that's what that show was. Basically, all feelings. Oops, all feelings. And so I'm like, okay, think about this. And I explained it a little bit in the last video. And in the comments, they said it was gonna be Sea of Thieves, not HiFi Rush. Even if it was HiFi, let's switch it to Sea of Thieves. If it's Sea of Thieves and it goes to the Switch, sure, who cares? I'm saying like, yo, you can put everything on Xbox on the Switch and I'll be fine because that is an additive to I would say the numbers, if you will. It's not, they are in the competition space, but like I said last video, people buy a Switch and a console. They just don't buy a Switch. So that's that. But Sea of Thieves going everywhere, like if it's on PlayStation, I'm like, it's a gas game. That's what they do. That's how gas games work. So I don't have a problem with it. I don't even play it. I have the actual physical copy of Sea of Thieves. I think it was the last physical copy game I got. But it's not, you have to look at, like I say, the motivations, the strategies. Microsoft is on a different level. They're not playing that dumb, old, antiquated strategy that Sony was trying to play and obviously failed at it, and now they got to switch it up. And now the ponies and the donkey unicorns are like, what do we do? And now they're port begging. It's all these, it's a domino effect. You see it happening in real time. And I'm sitting here listening to this freaking show, and I'm like, really? These fools, they're Xbox fans. I'm not gonna call them bots, but they sound like ponies and donkey unicorns. Are they all pony bots right now? Because I'm like, look, Microsoft is not Sony. Sony's not Nintendo, Nintendo's not Microsoft. Each of the three have a different strategy. Nintendo's strategy is make smaller games, quality games, games that people want to play, and then make the console. It's kind of like both. You know, you make that game, people want to buy the console to play that game, right? Sony tried that. It didn't work because their games aren't for everyone. It's for a little sliver of gamers. And all of them bought it, but I'm gonna say that you're gonna start to see the slowdown of the PlayStation 5 sales. Even with the rumored PlayStation 5 Pro coming out, and then today somebody said, "Oh, I heard that they're not doing that anymore." That's a rumor. I'm like, whatever. So, you know, them being so irate and so angry about this was HiFi Rush we're talking about. HiFi Rush going to the Nintendo Switch. And that's the other thing. I'm like, why are you so mad about it going to the Switch? And they're like, oh, well, we can't have nothing nice. We can't have exclusives. Now everybody's going to expect all of our exclusives to go da-da-da. And I'm like, listen to yourselves. Our exclusives, blah, blah, blah. You're like, stop it. Like I said, I prefer Xbox, but I prefer to have video games, period, right? And so my concern is that all of these idiot fanboys are mad and whatever about the wrong reasons. They're not looking at the industry or the industry's health as a whole. They're just looking at, oh, I want Xbox to beat PlayStation. And I'm like, for me, that's not what it is. For me, it's why is PlayStation winning with the way that they do business? I don't like the way they do. If PlayStation was a different company with different leaders and they actually did something that was pro-consumer, different story. You know, it's just like, I don't have anything against Sega made me fall in love with video games. That's not America. That's Japan. So, you know, I mean, I had an Atari and all that stuff, but that is, you know, it's just the leadership at Sony, past leadership, I guess, was just not good. It wasn't a good look, and it was bad for the industry. And like I said, I'm always gonna reiterate that that's the main reason why I'm on their ass like I am. And that's why I ridicule them, not ridicule, that's why I critique them so harshly like I do, because you can't expect a sane human to be on your side, approve of all your actions the way that you treat us consumers. It doesn't make sense. I mean, that's straight up Stockholm Syndrome. You get your ass beat, but you love them. You get your ass beat, but you love her. I'm like, why you still with that person? Because they just hit me because they love me a lot. I'm like, you know, that's a real thing. And that's what I see. And I'm not trying to I'm not just making jokes. I'm like, why are these fanboys, just not all of them though. You know, I think, was it MBG or who was it? I was calling Moriarty, was crying about, talk to us, but he's still a pony, whatever, donkey unicorn. But you know, when I think about fans, fanboys, console wars and all that stuff, I just wish that more of us would evolve into realizing the bigger picture of video games, the health of the industry. Yes, it's good to have competition. I want competition because it makes everyone try harder and be better. And the whole thing that I hated about Sony, I still do hate about Sony, is that they try to destroy the competition. Not saying, oh, they're gonna do so good that they destroy the competition. No, they try to literally put the competition out of business so that they don't have competition, so that they are the only option. That's their strategy. Not like, oh, let's make all these exclusives. Yeah, that's part of it. Exclusives to buy the console, but they're making all these moves. They did the same thing to Sega. I did a video about this a while ago, but main reason why I hate Sony is because they literally put Sega out of business, out of the console business, you know? And I'm like, they're trying to do the same thing to Microsoft. They're trying to do the same thing to Microsoft. They can't. Are you kidding me? They're like $2 point something trillion corporation. You're gonna try to put Microsoft, you're gonna try to convince Microsoft to get Xbox. No. And Phil Spencer sealed the deal. He said, yo, and Carter, that was me. I'm a coder, I'm a gamer, I got over 900 hours, son, this year. I'm like, that's more than me. What CEO do you know has over 900 hours of video game time? Which one? Nobody at Sony. They don't play games. Literally, they don't play games. From the freaking, I'm surprised the developers, I'm just playing. The developers are probably the only shining light over at Sony because they make the games. Everything else is rotten over there. It's a shame, man. And I'm glad there's some movement and some shakeup, but I don't think they've learned their lesson. I don't think that they're gonna be able to pivot the way they need to in order to be a better corporation. And if they happen to get the right people in place, it's gonna take them at least 10 years if they dedicate themselves to doing it. That's a whole nother question. Will Sony commit themselves to 10 years of restructuring and building back up what they had lost? Basically, I mean, they haven't lost it yet. You know, maybe they have some time to do what they need to do to stop it from being 10 years. Maybe it's 5 years, maybe it's, you know, whatever. But yeah, it's so frustrating because, you know, this is what we like. We like this, you know, we love this stuff. But it's like when it's a giant corporation in the video game business that is effectively trying to harm the industry just only for their monetary gain. And I'm like, okay, you're raising prices. I understand the economies and all that stuff, but you didn't have to. Okay? You didn't have to. Or like, I mean, honestly, I think that their strategy to split games into multiple sections, meaning making smaller games like part 1 and part 2, like Spider-Man 3's part 1 and part 2, and charging, if they charge $40 each, I mean, they're doing 50, so they can get 100 for one game. So I'm like, okay, you know what? That's a little more palatable because you could be like, all right, let me play half a game, and if it's hot garbage, then I ain't gonna play the other half. You know? So it's a risk involved, but at the same time, that's more of a palatable option than, let's just raise the prices. You know? I mean, collector's editions aside, or early access aside, because that's fine. You don't have to buy those. But whatever. You know, it's just what they did this whole generation so far is just ridiculous. And they had the opportunity to be that shining light, the pillar of video games, to say, yo, this is how you do it. We got to this place with our content, but now we're gonna treat you right. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna make our services better. They did none of those things. They copied and pasted, they copied and pasted. They're still copying and pasting and failing. And I'm like, look, man, creatively bankrupt. They have no ideas inside their brains. Even their movies are kind of whack. Just saying, you know, you look at their movies and it's like, it's okay, it's not that good, whatever. I mean, the animated movies are good, I ain't gonna lie. But most of the other ones are like, whatever. When's the last time a Ghostbusters movie was good? The first one, that's it. I mean, the second one was better than anything else that's come out. I never seen Afterlife. I thought that looked interesting, but I heard it was hot trash garbage. I was like, I mean, I'll see it for myself and I'll judge it for myself, but come on, son. If a movie is good, people will be like, yo, this is a good movie. Universal acclaim, blah, 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 but that's not the case. And now they're making a sequel to that, Frozen Empire, whatever it's called. I'm like, y'all, wow. It's almost like they're making movies like how the cartoon used to be, the real Ghostbusters, except that was actually good. Okay, this is what Sony should do. Since they're so creatively bankrupt, they should go back in to those animated shows, the animated show, Real Ghostbusters by Filmation. They should literally remake it live action. Do it as a series, or you could do it as a movie, like a, you know, cut them up, put them all together, do it as a movie. I'd watch that. How good it would be? I don't know. They would have to recast everybody because everybody's too old now, but that'd be interesting. But anyway, you know, I don't know, I'm rambling right now, but that whole Hargeet and freaking Boom and them getting upset about HiFi Rush and the exclusive thing and blah, blah, blah. I was like, yo, man, y'all need to just, y'all are sounding like ponies, son. And I'm like, why am I gonna listen to y'all? This ain't the way. Cause it's like, we are trying to keep video games alive. selfishly trying to keep it alive because we enjoy it so much. Don't be like that. You know, have a wider mind, have a wider vision. But anyway, let me know in the comments below if you guys watched that, or even like, what do you guys feel about HiFi Rush or Sea of Thieves or whatever, an exclusive going to other consoles. You know, Switch, okay, PS5, you know. And in one respect, I say, you know what? I understand the sentiment of wanting to have exclusives to, you know, to push up your console, your box that you love. But on the other hand, I look at the business side and I say, do you want a game like Sea of Thieves to prosper, to be bigger, to get more updates, to keep going? Then shut up and let them cook. And shut up and let the people who know how to make money with their product. Stop getting hung up on this console war stuff. Yeah, it's fun to do it, but at the same time, they gotta make money. And it's a games as a service game. That should be everywhere anyway. Anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Like and subscribe. We getting there slowly but surely. So just keep doing your duck dizzles. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your kids and sisters, brothers, tell your puppy, tell everybody to subscribe. You can like it too, but subscribing is more boop. It's more better. And yeah, and I'll talk to y'all guys on the next one. Till the wait.